Hi, good afternoon and welcome to the Spotlight event number 2. So this is where we're going to be talking through and demonstrating cold applied road repair systems. Starting initially with the PermaFyx, as you just seen a short video over there. But then just coming back, just start thinking about what other cold applied systems there are. So you have a water-based emulsion, quick or cold laid material, or you have a solvent-based emulsion, cold laid material. We have a cementitious type cold laid material. Fourthly, you have a resin-based cold laid repair system. Now, going through those different products, you've got your water-based, solvent-based, cementitious, and resin. You go through an increase in durability. So the initial pothole or ultra-crete type material is something which a lot of people know, but has limited durability. Come through to what a lot of the industry would know as PermaFyx. That's a cementitious curing material that has increased durability. Then you come through to resin type material, and that is where we come to our PermaFyx, which we're going to demonstrate to you today. Now, the key thing here we want to emphasize, again, there's no heavy goods vehicles. So you can come to a site in a small van, you have everything you need in there. Notice in the back of the van there's no generator, petrol powered generator, working here with an Instavolt power pack, able to power that mixing paddle there for a full day. We have done a project, we got East Midlands Airport here today. We did projects on East Midlands Airport. We did 50 kits with one charge of a power pack. We know this system really works. So what we've got going on here now, so we have a resin which we activate using a catalyst. That has been placed into the bucket initially, then add a filler, bulks it out, and finally we're going to add an aggregate. The first demonstration is going to be a lookalike of SMA. It's going to look like a 6mm SMA. Remembering this is PermaFyx, so this is permanent, professional and practical. So it's taken us just a few minutes to mix up that first kit coming through there. Again, as mentioned, that's a 6mm system. It's got emery as an aggregate, so that's a high PSV stone to ensure we give a high SRV level on the asphalt. Where we're finding this system really stands alone, is around ironworks, which is what we're demonstrating today. Round ironworks, high stress. Also, with a hot applied system, you struggle to get a good adhesion, for one, and two, get good compaction. So with a traditional conventional system, you have to go around, place the material, and then bring a compaction plate in, go around it. As soon as you do that, the compaction plate will bounce onto the ironwork, which inevitably will start to loosen the asphalt. So it's simple to apply, just using a basic trowel, pressing it in and giving it a good finish. So coming back to the comparing it with hotworks. So say for example you're going to use a hot applied system for this scenario. You'd have to go down to the asphalt plant, you have to queue, then you have to bring it back, then you have to consider the waste because some of the material's gone cold, so that goes back to the yard. So you factor in all these added little costs, and whilst this material per tonne is considerably more expensive than a hot applied system, certainly for smaller repairs, say up to 2 square metres, it has a significant commercial advantage, especially for some of those incident response, emergency. We've also got Israel here from Kia, who works on the TFL network. They're using this system there, certainly with the emergency call-out service. So what we're going to get here, so with this technology, you mentioned earlier about how we can speed up the cure of MMA. With this system, we need to have a certain amount of workability time to ensure we can place it and level it off properly. We would reckon on open to traffic time with this system at the moment of 20 minutes. We're going to see today whether we can actually reduce that slightly. When we say open to traffic, that's not just open to a bicycle. This is open to heavy goods vehicles. We've had it open to traffic. We've had straddle carriers, so that's container straddle carriers down in the Southampton container terminals go across this material within less than an hour. We've had aeroplanes go across it on the East Midlands Airport just close by, along with Gatwick and others. Now, the next session, the next demonstration is going to be for colours. So there's an increased demand and increased use of coloured asphalt, especially as we're seeing in the some of our town centres where there's been a change of use from a lot of retail across to some of the restaurants and hospitality and apartment. And that has brought a different theme. So there's been an increase in pedestrianisation, there's been an increase in the use of coloured asphalt, whether it be red, green, blue, sometimes even a buff colour. From the utilities perspective, so thinking about that in the presentation earlier, utilities services have to cut through whatever surface material there is there. Then the challenge comes as to how you're going to reinstate it. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but a black asphalt in the middle of a red asphalt area, it does happen. Doesn't look particularly attractive. The other option is going to an asphalt plant and asking for some red asphalt. Typically, they've got a minimum production of 7 or 8 tonnes and comes at considerable cost. So what we're demonstrating here today gives contractors the option, an opportunity to go along, mix up just enough for 0.3 square metres, half a square metre, whatever it might be. Again, it's going to be permanent, it's going to be professional and practical, giving you that excellent longevity and durability on the final surface. This has come to this development, so we're kind of going through the development phases that we've been through as we go down through these different blocks. So we started off with a 6mm, took that out to market. As always, you find clients will say, can you do a red? Can you do a blue? So we developed that. We've also had clients say, well, we like using the Paco patch type system, mastic asphalt, with the pre-coated chips in there. Find that works really well. Mastic asphalt around ironwork, especially when you're doing multiple, is a great system. But we wanted to have an option whereby we could give that, we could also offer that in a cold applied technology. So then we set to, whilst it may look very simple, it actually took us quite a bit of time to figure out exactly how to get that look and feel of a mastic asphalt, then get the embedment of the chippings on the top. So the chippings on this system, typically pre-coated chippings in a mastic asphalt are bitumen based. This is actually polyurethane based on pre-coated chippings, so you have to use special chippings. The key thing what we found here is that the full kit comes in a bucket. So we've got contractors that have asked us and said, okay, we need 30 kits, 40 kits, 50 kits, or wherever it might be. What turns up? 50 kits in a bucket. Everything you need is included within that bucket. That includes a small dosage of chippings. So I probably talk a little faster. Yeah, Angel. Just while they catch up there, any questions that are coming from the clients? There must be. So when using this system around line work, we reckon that from the time we arrive on site, so we've done the cutting out, exposing the ironwork, breaking it down, reinstatement, open to traffic in less than 3 hours. As I mentioned earlier, that traffic can include heavy goods vehicles, buses, etc. So now we're actually coming up with the HRA. The interesting thing with this system, being chemically cured, we can absolutely guarantee we're going to get a full cure going through that system. Providing we've done that, we follow the correct mixing process. With the temperatures and the application range, you can start at 5 degrees and working up as far as 30. Many people ask us whether it can be used in the rain. We don't advocate the fact it can be used in the rain. It has been used in the rain, but recommend where possible is in a dry environment. There's interest from National Highways in this system for doing what they call a find and fix. So they have it in the back of some of the supervisors' vehicles. It then can be brought out and fixed on the guide. So I was saying this is going to look like a HRA, mastic asphalt type look. Same process, pressed in with a trowel. Then the pre-coated chipping is going to be placed on top. Some of the recent projects that we've done with this, Cormac invites us down to do several ironworks there. Plymouth City Council invested significantly in doing whole load of iron rats around the network in Plymouth. We've got contractors, especially in the Hampshire area, that are using a lot of kits. I think they used some in the region of 1,000 kits last year. That has been continued on through this region. One of the first projects we did, which is still going strong, was in Reading, Reading West Street, which is in the town centre. It's on a bus route coming through. That was in the 2020. Some might ask us how long it's going to last. We haven't actually yet had an installation that's been there long enough whereby the actual system and in itself has failed. We have had some failures. When we go back to site, drill down, the failure is further down in the substrate than the material on the surface. So now we're going to demonstrate a concrete repair. So this comes back to mentioned earlier about East Midlands Airport. So East Midlands Airport, we did some initial repairs and we used a black system. They came back to us and said, yeah, is there no way you can make this look more like concrete? So back in touch with our research team, which we've got here today, looked into how we can make it look more like a concrete system. Using the same resin technology, gained using MMA, adding the catalyst, adding the powder, etc. Came back to East Midlands Airport to do some more further trials. So broke out, especially where you get those high stress points, certainly on the corners of slabs, on the edge of the slab. East Midlands Airport, as an example, is an ageing asset, so they have regular ongoing challenges with this. In fact, beginning this year or even the end of last year, we did those trials with this system, still looking good today. Recently been back to do approved installer training, so this is something else we can deliver. So it's approved installer training, come up and train your operatives in the exact correct way to use the system to ensure that when it is being used, the investment's being made, you're going to get the maximum output from it. For concrete repairs, would always recommend just prime around the edges to ensure we get that maximum adhesion. Any vertical joints need to be recreated. So one thing is this material, it won't transverse across a vertical joint, you'll get failure. So there we have it. So we have the 6mm SMA, then we have the 6mm coloured asphalt options, HRA or mastic asphalt. It can also be used as like a PMA option as well without the chips. And then finally we have that concrete solution. On the last pad, the demonstration here, we're going to actually use the Neon version for the cementitious curing pothole material. So this is more of a conventional type system whereby you place material in, add some water and use a compaction equipment. Benefits of our material over these competitions, we actually include a higher level of fines, which gives you a slightly tighter bond when being installed. In addition to that, you may have noticed it comes in paper bags. Idea here coming back to our carbon reduction strategy. So the paper bags can be recycled in a recycled cardboard paper bin. Then you just have a slightly contaminated, small, thin polythene bag. This should only take a few minutes. How's it looking, Josh? That was good. Looking good. Go for it. So this system can be applied in say, a pothole that's still got water in. Due to the depth of the hole, we're just going to give it an initial compaction using a punner. For this system, we are looking for local authorities to do some trials. It's still in the final stages of development. We have been engaged with Surrey, so they're doing some work with us. Along with Leicestershire, Leicester City.
Another drum in the back.
So really what we're trying to demonstrate here is it's a right first time approach, which is what the industry really needs to adopt. The other point we often mention is it's not one size fits all. So your circumstances or the requirements, the traffic types, etc., the environment it's being used in will differ. So therefore we have those different options available. So one of the next things we're going to do is we're going to be driving this pickup truck across those repairs. There you go, Josh. 2 minutes. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, just a shout out to the Mag Group, East Midlands Airport next door. Thank you very much for the loan of your whacker plate there. So appreciate that. So the key point here is that with a cold applied system, mentioned earlier about the curing process, guaranteed cure, high resistance to deformation. So one of the challenges, especially in the airport sector and in some of the high stress highways, is that with some conventional hot repairs, you get that rutting after a period, whereby the material will continue to compact. That is often down to air voids, or it can be down to the bitumen softening. With this system, you don't get that, so it's going to be fully cured, high level of resistance, resilience to any kind of deformation. So I don't know how many minutes it is since we did that first or last. 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes. Perfect.
Straight. Left a bit. Left a bit. Your right hand down. Right hand down. That way. Forward a bit more, keep going, keep going. Just do a little turn on that. That's it. Then left a bit more. Go.
So there we go. Seeing is believing.
That's where it turned there. That's where it turned on there. That's where it turned on there. That's where it turned on there. No scratches.
Okay, I think you're just going to open the gates up so people want to walk a bit close. Thanks, Declan and team. Yeah, please do have a stomp.
This is where it's just the vehicle drove on the turn, just on that patch there. Turn on this patch here.
Sorry?
That is impressive.
What? It's fucking mental, isn't it?
It is impressive.
Oh, is he beating it with a hammer now?
Yeah, he's got a sledgehammer on it. And literally barely.
Go on, Charles, go on. There's a bottle for the first one to break it.
Go on, John. Go on, John.
Eat it then.
I'll put an inch in it!
That demonstrates something. That's a typical what we call cold plate material. That's what's going to happen.
Of course, it's been hit by Thor's hammer, ain't it?
But yeah, give it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget everything that
What's
makes.
the camera on you?
That's close to that. That hammer's too small.
Put some effort into it, mate.
Come down a little bit. Got some more. Oh, that's my wet foot there, John.
Thank you, John.
There you go, mate.
Any other questions?
That one's going like
So these will have the mean the SRP of 65 plus or whatever they are. But another benefit of this is any of your